Bluff City Media presents The Anthony Sain Show with your host, Anthony Sain. Now, let's get to the show.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Anthony Sain Show. This is, of course, your host, Anthony Sain, here with my guys, man. I got the whole crew in the building with me today, man.
He's back.
I got my guy, Kenny Stubblefield. I'm up here messing with wires and shit. I told him, Kenny, go ahead and start that joint. I'll be ready. It ain't been no more ready. But yeah, got my boy, Kenny Stubblefield, as always, in the building. And this brother needs interest music. He don't have it. Maybe we can do it in post.
Yeah, we'll do it in post.
We'll do it in post.
That's what I would do.
You might know him.
Like Chris Brandon's show.
Yeah. You might know him from the Daily Grind. Monday through Friday. Faithfully. 7:30 in the morning. On Bluff City Media.
On the Daily Grind.
Right, you might know him from being the only person in the locker room that actually uses the stuff he records. You might know him. You might saw him out at the Lakers versus the Clippers game. Not his media, but with his wife, kicking it on vacation. You might have seen him.
The Grizzlies versus the Clippers.
Who that said?
Lakers versus the Clippers. Yeah,
hey, that's what I meant, man. The Grizzlies versus the Clippers. You might have seen them saving Memphis. You might have seen him with a blueprint in his hand for something about to fix the city, man. You might have seen him doing some other stuff with the school, whatever he be doing with the kids. Paris Shark is in the building after a 6-month hiatus. Paris, what's going on, my brother?
I said 6 months. I'm good, man. I'm glad to be back.
The Monday through Friday on the Grind was the biggest. I better not be on this show every day.
Sure, I ain't be on that show in 2 weeks either.
Yo. Well, my boy Paris is back in the building. Good to have you here, man. A lot has changed since last time we talked to you. Last time I talked to you, the Grizzlies were the 2 seed. We were 21 and 8. No, I'm just playing. The Grizzlies.
Nah, we was at
really
the crosstown last time.
Yeah, with Marley Morrison. That was the last show we did together for real. Damn. Okay.
I think that's the last one I was on, I believe.
Yeah, we've been recording midnight shows, so yeah, I don't. It's definitely why Paris has not been here. Yeah. Good to have my boy Paris back. Let's talk about this, Paris Sharkey. There are stages of grief, and I don't know what all those stages are. I've read them a million times. I wrote an article about the stages of grief for somebody, either for my blog site, Blue World Order, or I don't know. I don't know who I wrote it for. Maybe for Tri-State Defender or the Memphis Flyer. I wrote an article for somebody. It might have been 3 Shades of Blue. I don't know. But we were talking about it was talking about the 5 stages of grief, right? What are they, Perry?
Got denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance.
Okay. I'm in acceptance with the Memphis Grizzlies. That's where I am. I'm in acceptance. I was in acceptance in January, right? It didn't even take the trade deadline for me. But I was in acceptance in January. When I saw Houston was better than us, that bothered me in my soul to see that the Houston Rockets were better than us. And I just had to accept the fact that, this just ain't the season, man. And that was with John. It was with Jake LaRavia. That was with Marcus Smart. And I saw Houston was better than us. I was like, all right, bro. Like, this ain't going to be the season I thought it was going to be. But I think a lot of our fans are – say it one more time, Perry. One more time, I'm sorry.
Got denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance.
What do you call when you're like displacing like your anger? Like you're placing it somewhere else. Like, I guess that would be denial, right? No, denial means it ain't happening. So. Bargaining is probably what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I would say bargaining.
It's like it ought to be another stage.
Yeah. Anyway. That's what I'm thinking. Because depression being up before.
Misplaced rage. Misplaced rage should be another.
But like I said, I had a conversation with my guy, Coach Vaughn, right, on Twitter. He was a very polarizing guy. A lot of people love him to death. A lot of people think he's crazy. A lot of people think he's talking out of his ass. But I'm a big Coach Vaughn fan. And there was some heat coming Coach Vaughn's way one night. And I called Coach Vaughn just to check on him. Like, bro, are you good? You know what I mean? You know, I see people are messing with you, and you always just kind of seem like Teflon. You just let this stuff bounce off.
He seems chill as all. I mean, dude.
Always, but you never see him.
His response. Someone will come at him heavy, and he's just like he responds with just. It's an impressive feat. It's an impressive.
That's my guy, man.
Yeah.
So I said, Coach V, you good, man? You know what I'm saying? I just want to let you know. I think what's coming your way is bullshit. And you know, you my guy, so I want to make sure you good. He said, "Yeah, Sain, I'm good, man." He said, "I don't care about stuff like that, man. These people really be thinking they just so smart and they know everything, whatever. And they, whatever. Woo woo." He said, "At the end of the day, man, people just coping, man. People just trying to cope." Bro. I said, "Coach Boy, man," and that really, it was like an epiphany. Like it changed the way I look at all this shit, bro. Like we come in here and we say, okay, these people sound crazy, or this group of people, oh, they're just super negative. They're just doing this. People are processing what they're seeing, what they're disappointed about, in a way that makes it feel better for them. And when he said that, it really changed the way I look at a lot of stuff. And I'm joking about this, but I'm not knocking anybody for this process because I 1,000,000% get it. I remember last year, man, when we were dealing with all the injury stuff, right? We were, losing all these games and nightmare season, right? I just remember in the back of my head, I was like, man, we're gonna I remember I was like, we're gonna get a big man from somebody. Like we're gonna get some big man. Either we're gonna draft one, whether it was a Donovan Clingan, a Zach Edey, Khalil Ware. Another name that was connected to the Grizzlies a lot was the kid with the who was being the kid who was being damn, bro, why is my vocabulary off? When you're being set up for something, like when the kid was being groomed by his babysitter.
Filipowski. Yep. Damn.
He was another big. People said him like Memphis Grizzlies starting center, Filipowski, right? You remember that? That was one of the things.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was like either you're gonna get somebody in the draft, you're gonna trade for somebody. It was like the Jared Allen stuff was out there at one time.
Clint Capella.
Stuff. Yeah, Clint Capella's of the world. Then
Nick
you had,
Richards kept coming up.
Yeah, Nick Richards, of course. Shout out to my boy Chris
Goga, the guy from
Goga
Orlando.
from shout out to my boy Memphis X. Yeah.
And then Hartenstein was the big
Hartenstein. That was a Daniel Greer.
Hartenstein was it. That was the
right. Because Greer was saying we could get Greer for black. We could get that hurt my man deep in his soul still to this day.
No.
That man face. Go back and watch that episode. The first time I had Greer on the show. Greer was heartbroken. It wasn't like a heart. It was like a pure shock. Like it really.
Shock.
He was not prepared to release
Hartenstein
back to the Negroes. Right? He just wasn't ready for that, man. It's almost like finding out your kid is black. You know what I mean? Like damn. But then you had like the what was my guy? Plays for Philly now.
Drummond.
Yeah, you had the Andre Drummonds of the world.
Yeah, Drummond.
All these.
He was in Chicago.
It was like you knew the Grizzlies were going to get a big man, right? You knew the Grizzlies were going to get a big man, right?
Yeah.
And one way or another. Of course, they got Zach Edey, whatever. And then you're like, okay, that's going to happen. Gigi and Vince have been great. They had a great year without these guys being here. Gigi Jackson, second team, rookie of the year. Vince Williams looking like a premier level defender. You know what I mean? Guys giving him props. Luka Doncic giving him props. These type of things, right? Kevin Durant giving him props, if I'm not mistaken. You had that, and you knew that you were going to get your guys back healthy, and you were going to get Ja Morant. Ja was being a Boy Scout, no off the court stuff going on. You were getting this spiritual, peaceful Ja who was like telling brothers, "Hey man, just chill, bro." Because he said it to me. He said to Jake LaRavia about me one time. He said, "Man, it's just the media, man. Let them do what they do, bro." You know what I'm saying? We ain't worried about that. Like I was, oh shit, look at Ja, man. Look at my guy, man. Like look at 12, right? So. Everybody had these expectations for this year. Like, man, we're going to come back. We're going to bust the league's ass, bro. We just need a dude that can rebound and set screens, bro. That's all we need, a guy who can rebound and set screens, right? And then the season actually happened, right? And we are where we are. Things have happened. A lot of injuries to Ja Morant. We got rid of our key players in Marcus Smart and Jake LaRavia. If you ask somebody, they'll tell you the importance of those two to this team. And, we decided to just kind of quadruple down on youth or whatever, right? And I've had discussions about, how important that was, or was it really that bad to do that when your guys are older than they were the last time you did it, when your star guys are older than they were the last time you did it, is having the expectation of your three best players being your vets on your team. Is that a crazy expectation? I've had those type of discussions. But the season has been what it is. We're a team that is currently, I believe, 3 games ahead of Golden State. The Lakers won on the tip end last night. So they're, I want to say 2 games, 1 game behind us, or 2 or something like that. Yeah, we're tied with them?
We're tied.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, we were right there in the mix with those teams. And, maybe a few months ago, we were second in the West with room to go. You know what I mean? And now we are in a fight not only to stay ahead of those teams, but to stay away from the play-in are the Memphis Grizzlies. And it's causing people to cope in the ways that people cope. And shout out to my boy, Coach Vaughn, like I said, who challenged me to – he wasn't talking about me because I wasn't the person that was giving him shit, but what he said really made me look at the way I look at how people process losing or just process disappointment. And the thing that everyone is doing now, not everyone, but a few people, Michael O'Reilly. Not just Michael. Not just Michael. It's very much not just Michael. That's my guy. That's how I know Michael don't watch the show, because I fuck with him every show. He never says shit about it. That's how I know he ain't watching the show. The people that you call your mentee, right? The people you have a mentor-mentee relationship with that don't even watch the show. All right, so Michael O'Reilly, amongst others, have taken this trail, this lane of nostalgia, right? Where it's like, and I just see the Wolverine meme where he's looking at the picture of Jean Grey, but I see us looking at the 2021-22 Grizzlies with the blue and gold trim jerseys, right? And everybody's, oh man, I miss the vibes, bro. I miss the energy. I miss the fun on this team, man. I miss the innocence of this team. We were talking shit and drinking spit, man. We were just, we knew we were cold. We know we were good. We were doing this. We were a couple games away from going to the finals, and we would have won the all these things are coming out from fans, right? And like we miss Dylan, and why did we trade Steven Adams? Imagine we had Tyus Jones, or oh man, imagine we had Kyle Anderson and Anthony Melton instead of Gigi and Vince Williams, right? And all these and Jalen Wells, all this stuff, right? All this stuff, like people just. Let's just make all of it happen, bro. What about the kid from the kid went to Texas Tech that was sitting on the bench?
Players got better after they left here.
Yeah, exactly. Like, no, what's the kid today who played for Texas Tech? The Christian dude.
Jared Culver. I know they ain't
yeah,
talking about Jared Culver.
What if we had Jared Culver?
That might in the G League, child.
I'm joking. Nobody said that, but we're just going down nostalgia road, right? And Xavier Tillman and like all this old crazy stuff. And, and I'll say this, man, I get it. I get the frustration. I get the levels of being down bad that will take you down that road. But I'm here now, hopefully, to navigate you. We're here now, hopefully, to navigate you off of that road here on the Anthony Sain Show. This is a service I'm doing for the people as the tribal chief of Grizzlies Twitter. Y'all may have a new tribal chief of Grizzlies X, and that's good for y'all. But I am the original tribal chief of Grizzlies Twitter, not X. And I'm here to hopefully navigate you guys off of this road of nostalgia that's taking y'all down some dark places. Let's start at Steven Adams. Steven Adams plays 13 minutes per game. 13 minutes per game currently for the Houston Rockets. I don't know if Steven Adams has knees at all. I think he just kind of drags. I think he has one straight leg, and I just think he drags it. I don't think he has knees at all. Kenny Stubblefield, with my action figures back in the day, if a piece broke off, I would glue the piece back on, so that meant that arm would be immobile. I think absolutely. Steven Adams' leg might be super glued to his thigh. I don't think there's a knee there at all. And like I put on Twitter today, there are some things that are deficiencies coming out of Zach Edey. He's not the most fleet of foot guy in the NBA. Imagine thinking, first of all, that Steven Adams would be playing the way Steven Adams used to play in this offense, first of all, and think that he would be physically able to do anything as a full-time center in the NBA. He's far removed from that. Those days are over. The Grizzlies made a smart move to trade Steven Adams back in the day. And Zach Edey, the guy they got to replace him, is a work in progress who I've seen look very good this year at times, look very lost at times, and look like a rookie the entire time. So I'm not really tripping about Zach Edey. So there goes Steven Adams. Is there anything you gentlemen would like to add in regards to Steven Adams, who plays 13 minutes a game off the bench for Houston? But we're in a sad place wondering why we traded him in the first place.
The same Steven Adams that was unplayable against Minnesota. Nah.
Would be unplayable now, but worse because he don't have knees.
I have no doubts.
I resident Steven Adams lover is Funaki, right?
Oh yeah. And he ain't said shit about y'all need Steven Adams. He ain't said that shit at all.
Like he will find the most obscure stats to prove that Steven Adams is valuable to the Houston Rockets.
Oh, he's doing it.
Oh, he still does. And the video clips that he shows are just Steven Adams setting screens, bro. Like that's like literally that's what
I guarantee you Zach Edey can do that.
if he was allowed to. And I guess the question I would have is for this team in 2024, 2025, would Steven Adams be setting screens? Like the way that this offense is being run, the way that Taylor's changed, like Taylor has changed the way he has allowed players to do what they're good at. And so if Steven was on this team, Steven would be in the corner. He'd be in the dunker spot, shooting threes.
He was practicing shooting threes. Remember that? He was like shooting threes at open practice.
Like, yeah, I mean,
Taylor Jenkins have him doing that, with Noah LaRoche have him doing that, or future Memphis Grizzlies coach Tomas Isolo have him doing it. Which one of the three? That's my second week in a row I've dropped the Thomas Isolo teaser. He will be our next head coach. So
Tomas Isolo.
Tomas Isolo, or whatever his name is. Isolo.
The last show, I'm still laughing. I'm still laughing from last show. I just want you to know
we were going in last show.
Last show was hilarious, bro.
But prepare yourselves that if Taylor Jenkins is let go, that Tomas Isolo, Dolph Drago will be. No offense to wherever Dolph Drago is from, or where Tomas Isolo is from, but yeah, that'll be your next Grizzlies head coach. I've said it twice. Breaking news before it happened. Dylan Brooks, the big one. This is the one. Oh man, we need that toughness, man. That tough. Oh, he was the heart team spirit.
We do need it, but
we need it. We
need that. Not specifically, him, but we need
the toughest player on our team right now has a porn stash. That's Santi Aldama. Got his ass set down.
Nah, you talking about what
that man sit down and count his fingers like his mama walked in the class.
That man, the problem is, like, this is...
Man's like counting fingers in that bitch, bro.
I'll just say this
when your
about
mama show up, you ain't know she would cover you. Act like you doing some work.
This is how you know Santi's not a fighter, bro. Because, like, listen, what is the one thing about, like, we know Desmond's strong, right? Like, we know he's a strong dude.
I'm sure he's strong as shit.
But what is his biggest deficiency in a fight? You just can't let him get too close. The man's got short arms, right? He let him get too close, man. Like, how you let Desmond get that?
That's how you know Santi had zero hands.
Zero hands, bro. Like zero.
Them little T-Rex arms, them little T-Rex arms, two-hand push through. Yeah, bro. You
way too close.
You got way too close. But yeah, Dylan Brooks, we missed that toughness, right? Teams feared the Grizzlies, according to John Wall, who was not playing. Wasn't even playing when the Grizzlies had John Wall.
What is John Wall talking about the Grizzlies? Like, what is?
I don't know. He's good. He's pretty good at what he does.
Is he good at it?
Yeah, he's good, and he's good at talking, like, podcasting and talking, like, the game. He's really good.
But yeah, this same Grizzlies team that people feared with Dylan Brooks, LeBron James was sending messages through his best friend. What's his name? Yeah, through Brian Windhorst to let the Grizzlies know that we want y'all in the playoffs. Like, we would do whatever it takes to get y'all in the first round. But this is the team that was feared. Dylan Brooks was more of a meme than somebody that people feared. As a person who sold hundreds of Dylan Brooks t-shirts, I can attest to that. And he just continued to be one after he left here. When he went to Houston and Steph Curry had him jumping all over the place on their head fake. Dylan's a meme, man. He's a really good player. He's really good. And he's really found his place in Houston. But there are a couple of factors why that would not have been the case. And I'll go over those real fast before we go to the break. Dylan Brooks, people say the big one is Taylor Jenkins would not coach Dylan Brooks to be that guy. That's facts. I'd stand on that one. But it's not just that.
He was here.
First of all, right. Dylan Brooks was not, Taylor Jenkins was not Dylan Brooks' first coach.
Right.
He was here with JB Bickerstaff and with the glasses. Take that for data.
Dave Fizdale. He was, because he got fired. 10 games
Dylan was here. Year. And if you remember, Fizdale was blowing Dylan up, giving him props. The next season, he had Bickerstaff at the end of the year. The next season, Dylan got hurt, but he was playing for Bickerstaff. Bickerstaff didn't start him. He was coming off the bench then. He was coming off the bench for Garrett Temple. That offseason, Dylan Brooks was on the banners. It was Jaren. It was Jaren Jackson Jr., Marc Gasol, Mike Conley, and Dylan Brooks. That was the big four you were seeing all over FedEx Forum. Dylan Brooks is part of the team's marketing, all these things, right? He was out there scoring, take as many shots as you want, beat a Maple Mamba, all these things, right? Canadian Kobe. Just be whatever you want to be, right? Just do whatever. We're ass. We're tanking anyway, so just go do your thing. Similar to a Gigi Jackson. And the same thing that's going on with Gigi happened with Dylan. You come back thinking you the man. Now you got to go back to actual winning basketball. And the coach is like, all right, bro, you ain't that dude. Like, come chill. And Dylan was that before Taylor Jenkins even got here. But him being in that type of situation really had him to keep the mindset of, I'm a good player on a bad team. Oh, we got a new rookie, huh? Oh, that's good. He could help me be good. Because I was in the locker room when Dylan Brooks said, we're like the big three.
I was about to say that. He was LeBron.
Yeah, he said, I'm LeBron. And John and Jaren are like Bosh and Wade.
What did he say? Something like, get me more shots and it'll get Jaren and Ja more shots or something like that?
There was a time where we had a thing going where if Dylan scored 20-plus points, we had a gaudy record.
He was undefeated.
Yeah, and Dylan was like, oh, actually, I scored 30 tonight. So, like, he really was, like, thinking he was that dude. Like, and I know people who would when they would talk about Dylan's defense, he would say, don't forget about the offense. Like, this is off the record stuff. Like, don't forget, like, Dylan had an overinflated view of himself, and it had nothing to do with Taylor Jenkins. Yep. Like, the reason why that happened with Taylor Jenkins is because, like, bro, you my third coach. I'm Canadian Kobe. Like, Dylan really thought he was that dude. And in some instances, he had to be that dude because Dylan Brooks had to be our second, third best scorer before Dez got here. But when Jaren was, still, kind of disoriented, kind of goofy and injured and all those type of things. Like, Dylan had to be that dude. But Dylan is in his 8th season, bro. Like, if what we're going to do is say 8th season Dylan Brooks is a better player than Jalen Wells, Gigi Jackson, Vince Williams, sure. But I'm betting on 1 or 2 or all 3 of those dudes being better than Dylan faster than it took Dylan to become that dude. And as far as Kyle Anderson and DeAnthony Melton, them motherfuckers barely in the league. So I don't even know. I don't know what that level of nostalgia y'all have for that is.
No, DeAnthony's not in the league, right?
For real?
No,
I have no clue who he plays with.
He was Brooklyn. He got hurt. He got hurt himself for the season. He got traded.
Oh, I thought he was out of the league. My bad. Okay.
No clue who he plays with. But I'm not mad at y'all. Nostalgia is fine.
Yeah. Dennis Schroeder. They didn't Schroeder trade. He was with Golden State. Yeah. He got hurt. Like,
I ain't mad at him though. I ain't mad at y'all. Like, I get it. I'm just trying to show y'all another way. Come on back home. And like I said, I understand being upset about this season, but there's nothing in me that makes me think that the talent level on this team won't be good soon and possibly very soon.
Don't you think the Lionel Hollins one is the biggest one though?
Oh yeah, that's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy,
the Lionel
bro.
Hollins one is crazier to me. Like, you haven't seen folks like missing Lionel Hollins. Like,
yeah, not saying we need to hire him.
Well,
we need
you talk to a person who kind of type of okay. I've seen it. I haven't seen talk about they need to bring him back. Yeah, I've seen.
I don't disagree. We need somebody that is a big enough voice, but they are the big dog in the room. Like, we need that level of coach here for sure.
Yeah.
Because Jaren, John, and Dez aren't them type of dudes. Because the fact that Desmond Bain had to basically, put his hands on Santi, and we looked at that like, oh, that was kind of crazy. No, that should be like, yeah, if you want some. Because Santi looks like the type of dude. And Santi looks like he say a bunch of shit on his breath that, like, need to get his ass whipped, bro. Like, for real. Like, he look like he say a bunch of bullshit.
You remember it was, I don't know what game it was last year, right before halftime with Santi.
Yeah, they got into it again.
Decent defensive assignment. And him and Bang got into it. It was the same 2 people.
Yeah, them dudes got a weird ass relationship, bro. Like, out of all the dudes, why you always on Santi so goddamn bar, man?
Brevin talked about it on the night court yesterday. He talked about he said, man, listen, I'll be honest with you. The thing that I hate the most about sports these days is all this slappy high five. Like, everything is high five. Everything is this. He's like, man, I'm an asshole. And if things are going bad, you're going to see that side of me come out. And he said that he goes, you could read his lips. And he was saying, basically, get a stop, get a effing stop. Yeah. And he was like, basically, he said, what I heard it as was him saying, basically, enough's enough to everybody. And Santi was just on the receiving end of it. But but he was like, the worst part. Do what?
Just whipping boy. Yeah. I'm sick of all you motherfuckers, especially your ass. Why the fuck you say your beard?
Why you take?
Why the fuck you got a porn stash, you motherfucker?
Like, we're trying to get into the playoffs, and you got a porn stash, bro. Like, what are we doing?
You looking freaky as hell.
But no, I liked his take on it of like, Man, all this slap high fives, everything is high fives, everything is coming back to the huddle and, shaking hands.
Let's go get ice cream after the game.
Let's go get ice cream and kumbaya and all this kind of stuff. And he's like, bro, like,
fuck all that.
Yeah, 100%.
But, man, we're going to take a break, man. Like I said, we ain't mad at y'all, man. I'm not mad at y'all for it. It's been pretty entertaining to see people grieve the way they grieve. My guy, what's his name? What's his name? Draft and Stash on Twitter, the guy who did that really awesome YouTube video. Oh, he did real bad. You say anything close to positive, he just gonna come shit on your post. That dude is in fuck all this mode. There's a stage of grief he's going through. I can't think of his real name is Andrew. I can't think of his I think it's Draft and Stash or something like that. Anyway, he's down bad. But I've been entertained by seeing how we're all grieving through what looks like to be a disappointing season. And bro, I would not be surprised if the Grizzlies find a fucking way in the playoffs to get together and beat the hell out of somebody. Like, if that happened, I would not be shocked, bro. Like, for real.
Yeah.
I see us losing in the first round, but I would not be shocked if the Grizzlies just came there and beat the hell out of somebody.
It all depend on who that player who want to play 42 games.
Oh yeah, I forgot to introduce. There's one thing about Paris Sharkey. You're right. There's one thing about Paris Sharkey that I forgot to introduce when the show started. You might know him. It's the one that'll say, that nigga John Morant can't shoot. There's the answer to everything. whatever going on with the team.
Can't shoot.
Yeah, the nigga can't shoot. John Morant can't shoot. Hey, you want to know why defense so bad? Nigga John Morant can't shoot. That's it. You may be right.
Not wrong.
You want to know why Egg's so high? Nigga John Morant can't shoot. Shit, man. It makes a lot of damn sense.
Economically, that makes a lot of sense, bro.
You know why crime in Memphis so high? Because John Morant can't shoot. If Ja can shoot, like, look how peaceful Memphis would be, bro.
Hey, if folks in Memphis can shoot like John Morant, the murder rates would go down, bro.
Would go down, bro. Hey, Paris will marry y'all all the time. When y'all get done talking, Ja can't shoot. That's why we losing. At the end of the day,
I know. In the group chat, we'll sit there and dissect stuff and break it down for hours, and then Paris.
You know what I'm saying? And Paris come out of nowhere.
Shoot
On his lunch break, Paris jump in. Hey, y'all know it's because Ja can't shoot right now. You're right, Paris.
Yeah, you're right, bro.
Damn, my bad.
You ain't lying about that.
Yeah. We're going to go to break. Speaking of violence, we're going to talk about the most violent moment in today's NBA. What's going on is hilarious, bro. Between LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith. We'll talk about that and maybe some Tiger basketball stuff when we come back with more of the Anthony Sain Show. See you guys in a minute.
I assume on Memphis radio today, there's a lot of discussion about the Desmond Bain shove of Santi Aldama,
of course,
in the huddle. I remember when it happened, and because on the video you can see me standing there lifeless,
probably like this.
I was like, oh hell. I don't think there's much to take out of it. I think it's a couple of true competitors who want to win, who just had a moment, and that was it. And they went out and they played, and it was over. But to show that fight, I thought, damn, we've been asking them to show some fight.
I can't stand the slapping five all the time. When it's going like shit, I don't want you to slap five with me. I always say there's an asshole side of me, and you will see it a lot in those instances. And I thought that this was one of those moments where it was like, enough is enough. I think the enough is enough was for everybody.
Tune in to the Night Court podcast with your hosts, Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight, on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? If you know anything about Bluff City Media and the content creators, the podcasters on this network, you know that most of us love to bet on sports. And right now, it's the best time of the year to do it. March Madness is here, and every game is a chance to cash in. From the first tip-off to the Final Four, every night promises high-stakes matchups, wild finishes, and big-time betting opportunities. And MyBookie's Bet and Get is back to sweeten the deal. Place a cash bet on March Madness and get a surprise reward. Free bets, cash back, bonus chips. You never know what's coming next. Whether it's a number one seed rolling or an underdog shocking the world, smart bettors know the real money is made one game at a time. Sign up now with promo code MM50 and you can boost your bankroll with a deposit bonus designed to help you make the most of your money. If you don't want a bonus, that's okay too. Just make sure you let them know that Bluff City Media sent you there. Bet on every game, anytime, from anywhere, only with MyBookie.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to the Anthony Sain Show. Here with my guys, man. Kenny Stubblefield, Perry Shark, and having fun with my dudes, man. We basically told y'all in the first round, it's okay, Grizzlies. Grieve how you want to grieve, man. You ain't got to grieve like me, man. I'm an optimist. I've accepted what this season is, and I'm looking forward to next year. Looking forward to Gigi Jackson taking the leap, Vince Williams taking the leap, Zach Edey taking the leap, another coach coming in, Tomas Isolo, showing y'all that setting screens is a part of his offense. It's the buff dude in the baby PE coach shirt. Noah LaRoche's fault. I'll take all that, bro. Like, you know what I mean? I'm with all that, right? So we did that in the first segment, man. Now let's talk about something that's been. It started off wild. Then it got kind of cool. Then it was like, oh shit, LeBron really talking for an hour. And now this shit is off the rails, bro. The shark has been jumped. Kenny Stubblefield.
Oh, it is, dude. It is so over. It is. Oh God, it's so. Yeah. It is the lamest shit I've ever seen in my honestly. Right. Go ahead.
And you know what I'm most impressed about all this is Adam Silver jumping in and saying, "Look, bro, it'll be pretty dope if people could." He's like, I don't see this nowhere else in no other league. I would be pretty dope if people just kind of spoke positive about the product, especially when you're talking about one of the best players who's ever played the game, who's currently playing the game at 40 years old and still looking like he can go 5 more years. It seems like we would celebrate that more than the dumb stuff we're talking about. And bro, I don't know who said it, but NBA Twitter's discourse is the dumbest, most it has to be, bro. Like I don't even pay attention to other sports in Discord, but there's no way that any other sports Discord is as dumb as the NBA. The stuff that we say that comes out of our mouths on a regular basis, and we just kind of accept it as even worth talking about. It's just like I put on Twitter yesterday that the unsolicited GOAT conversation it has to be the dude version of a dick pic. Like I see how girls feel when some dude just send them a dick pic they didn't ask for. When people try to drag you into these GOAT conversations, like, bro, get me out of this, bro. You are molesting my brain with these conversations y'all have. It's just some of the narratives y'all have.
You know what the latest one today about LeBron was?
What's it?
Could LeBron play with Bryce James, his youngest son? Like that was all over ESPN today. Could he play with Bryce James? Bryce James is a senior in high school, bro.
And he's not that good. And he's not as good as Bronny was.
No.
Let me say this, man. And I'm going to get the mic to y'all. I'm going to say this, and I'm really going to be done with it. I'm not. I'm saying I am, but I'm not. This is my breakdown of the whole Bronny James thing. Because there's a lot of things that people are getting lost in this. LeBron James Jr., Bronny James, is a NBA pro level talent.
Yes.
He's showing you that by going to the G League and busting ass. Anytime a guy is busting ass in the G League, that means he's probably on another level than the guys that are there. Right. And there are guys that are pros, semi-pros, former pros, all those type of things that are in the G League, right? The only thing that LeBron did that we're calling nepotism is that he pulled Bronny up probably a year early. Bronny probably needs to play college basketball 2 years, and then he probably would have looked more like a pro coming out this year. He probably would have looked like one of the better players in college basketball if he had stayed a year. The only thing
I'm sorry.
The only thing that I'm going to call nepotism is he came out a year early. Guess who else came out a year early, Kenny Stubblefield, and got drafted? A whole lot of dudes in NBA history, right? I can tell you a lot of guys who should have stayed in college another year. They went to the NBA, got drafted in the second round, but they should probably still be in college. Like, there's a lot of dudes like that, right? The only thing that I truly have a problem with that LeBron did or that the Lakers organization did, because this what happened is totally not what I expected to happen. I expected them to draft or to sign Bronny as a in the offseason, whatever, undrafted, him to be on a 2-way contract, and he'd be with the team, play the game with his dad. Everybody goes their separate ways. I was totally shocked when they signed him to an actual guaranteed deal. That's the only part about this whole thing that I think is actually weird. It's weird. That's the only thing I think is weird. But the fact that we have this level of conversation, this level of discourse, this level of disdain towards LeBron, this much discussion, and people talking about how bad he's been, and like, bro, this is almost like he's a victory cigar, bro. Like that's all that kid is. He gets in when the game is out of hand. He's Black Yuki Kawamura. Like it's in the fact that we have this much discussion about him is silly, and I understand why LeBron would be kind of over it. The whole thing with when him and Stephen A. Smith first got into it, I was like, okay, that's pretty crazy. But people say, oh, LeBron was weak for that. I said, well, LeBron really ain't weak for that because, like I said, they're kind of doing too much. Because, like, yes, Bronny is an NBA player, but why are we talking about the worst player on the Lakers? Like, why are we having this much conversation about him? That's always been my thing. But where it's went to now, and shout out to LeBron, and I get the side of people saying, why didn't he go on a black podcast? Why didn't he do this on his own? I think the ultimate troll job of going on the station that Stephen A. Smith works for, and a guy that Stephen A. Smith probably really don't care too much for is back and feed. I think when he said that he don't care, I think they've got like a little rivalry going. The fact that he went on his show and did it, that level of petty, I can get with that too. But where it's going now with Stephen A. Smith, like shout out to Nick Wright saying, bro, just take the L because you're just really doing too much at this point. I totally agree with him. So Jim, I'm gonna hand the mic over to y'all if we wrap up the show. What are y'all thoughts on this whole thing? Is silly to me. It's gone way off the rails. Stephen A. Smith needs to just shut his ass up, leave this shit alone. Because man, you're not gonna outdo LeBron, man. And it looks like to me that it's all about Stephen A. Smith feeling the way he ain't cool with LeBron, and LeBron ain't letting him into his circle. I think Stephen A. Smith has some type of connection to all of these guys. You know, all the major guys, the KDs, the Stephs.
Yeah.
You know, all these guys. But LeBron ain't never fucked with him. I think it all boils down to that.
I think it's the entertainment factor of it that this national media has become that is making the discourse and the talking points around NBA basketball, because NBA basketball is like it is the most entertaining of all the professional sports in terms of the storylines, in terms of those kinds of things. You don't have to
the liberty that players play with, like you can be an individual star in NBA, like
100%. Yeah. The entertainment factor, the storylines that are generated from every franchise throughout the year are enough. You don't have to create it. And I think that's my biggest frustration with all of the national media discourse around the NBA is that it feels like they generate stuff that makes no sense. They don't have to. Like, you don't have to generate. Like, the fact that ESPN was talking about Bryce James today is just it's generating content
with 10 games left in the season, and there's like a really dope race going on in the West right now. Like
the Western Conference, the 2 through 6 seed is like
totally up in the air.
It is like Survivor Series, bro. It's it is like every single day. The Grizzlies were number 3 in the Western Conference like 2 days ago, and now they're
really
number 5.
almost like win or go home. It's almost like win or go home.
Like, you can't lose games. Like, that's why that Utah Jazz game was so crazy to everybody, local media wise, because we're like, bro, you cannot lose that game. Like, you cannot lose to the Utah Jazz. And they were down by 20 in the first half, and it's just like the storylines are there.
Right? There's a lot going on. Not just about the Grizzlies. There's so much stuff to talk about in the league.
100%. And so with Stephen A. Smith
in general,
the Stephen A. Smith stuff, it's just like it is. And listen, I will never be one of those kinds of guys that's like, well, the ethics of journalism, this, that. I will never be that guy. But one of the things that I do think, to be like sincere about it, is stop making yourself a part of the story all the time. Like,
or bigger than the story.
Or bigger than the story, or that you matter more to the story than what really is up. Like, you don't matter in the story. Your job, you are making millions of dollars reporting on the feats of other people. And like that is, and there's no shame in that. Like, there's no shame in that. Like, people want to hear you talk about stuff, but they don't want to hear you talk about like your opinion on
like it's LeBron, a battle rap.
Like
it's Drake versus Kendrick. Yeah.
Like, talking about like how if he had touched me, I would have swung on him, brother. Like, what are we doing here, man? Like,
it's so off the rails.
It's off the rails, and it's just too much. It's too much. It's silly. Is the jump shark phrase is a perfect, a perfect description of it, because it is just, he has made himself too much of the story, and there's no reason for him to be there. Like, he doesn't have to be there. How many videos are online of watching Stephen A. Smith walking across floors in the NBA where it's just like the dude's dressed to the nines and he's walking around like, waving at nobody. Like, hey, you see me, I'm the star of the show. Man, you're there to cover people, bro. You're there to cover the star.
Yep.
Right. Paris, what you got on? What you got on it, Paris? Paris can't hear.
His internet is
like you
his
said, man, you the Kendrick.
Okay.
Man. I'm freezing. My
you
internet
good.
be going in and out. Yeah, my internet be going in and out.
Good.
Y'all got me now?
Yeah, you in.
Yeah. Like you just mentioned, you just mentioned Kendrick and Drake. That's what it reminded me of. It's gotten to that level of like
It's probably been brewing about that long. It's probably been brewing since 2008. Yes, it's probably been brewing since 2008.
Yeah, it's probably you're right. That long. I listened to Melo's podcast recently. He had Dwayne Wade on, and they was talking. That was after the initial LeBron walking up to him. And I know Melo just mentioned, he has a relationship with both of them, and he had that point in time where Steve A said something about him. And he was like, "Bro, you could have called me. You got my number. Why you didn't hit me up?" And he was just saying like. He had I think he had said either him or D-Wade said they talked to Steve A and they had to let him know like he was coming to you as a father, not like as a player, right? He wasn't giving you about basketball stuff. It was as a father. But Steve A still
because it's just too much, bro. It's just too much about
stuff you want to talk.
Too much about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I
then
think
LeBron, what was the situation when LeBron was I like the part when LeBron was like Steve A first said, "Hey, I wasn't gonna say nothing." Until the video went viral. Right. He was like, that was like the weakest stuff ever. Like,
man, get out of here, man. Get out of here. But like I said, bro, we got bigger fish to fry, bro. We trying to stay out the play-in, man. Hey, it's some sharks in that water in the playoffs too, bro. You got the Clippers, Minnesota down there. Who else is down there? Sacramento,
Golden State.
Done.
And Golden
you got mad at Jake LaRavia, man. I may have him down there. Yeah, man. But at the end of the day, man, like I said, Phoenix is down there. We had battles with them so far this season. Hey, bro, I want no part of being in the play-in, bro, at all. Because I got a feeling we the best way to get put out of that joint. No, I don't want no part of it. I don't want no part of it at all. But y'all, for Kenny Stubblefield, for Perry Sharkey, remember, no matter what you're going through, the nigga John Moran can't shoot. That's how to fix the problem. That's how you fix it. When John Moran starts shooting, bro, we'll be all right. All right, we'll see y'all next time. We'll see y'all next week, as a matter of fact, and we out.
Thank you for listening to the Anthony Sain Show. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. For comprehensive coverage of Memphis sports, head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co and find out how you can become an insider. We will see you back here next week.